Hello everyone, my name is IronNancy, and I just finished watching Dragon Ball Super episode 124. And it is sad to say, but it is coming to a point where I will no longer be able to say that, because Dragon Ball Super is ending. I think there's like 7 or 8 episodes left, and with that in mind, I will now be taking a much more critical standpoint when talking about Dragon Ball Super. And again, with that said, we're just gonna shove everything that happened in this episode out of the way and talk about literally the main focal point of the episode. I meant to say everything else that happened in the episode, not shoving the episode in its entirety out of the way. The main point of the episode. Gohan and Frieza teaming up, which was amazing, by the way, fighting against Dispo, and then Gohan and Dispo getting knocked out. I don't really care that much about Dispo. The main focal point was Gohan getting knocked out. And there's going to be a tiny bit of a rant in here, but it's sort of a good rant. I mean, depending on how you take it, it can be sort of a good rant. Okay, but before I move it all out of the way, I thought the episode was awesome. They used like one of the greatest soundtracks that Dragon Ball Super has ever made. It's the Hit vs. Dispo one. Also, there were a few repetitive images and a few repetitive scenes. So, you know that scene where Dispo is like phasing through stuff? They use that over and over again. So, just getting all that out of the way. Gohan, okay? Was he useful in this tournament? The whole theme of Dragon Ball Super's Universal Tournament arc was about bringing all of the original Z Fighters back, well, almost all of the original Z Fighters, bringing the Z Fighters back into this tournament for one fight to save their universe. I don't know, would it be called one fight? Yeah, one fight. It's like a Royal Rumble or whatever. I don't know what the name of it is. One fight to win it all, to save their universe, okay? Before anyone says anything or jumps to any conclusions, I realize that not all of the Z Fighters could make it to the end of the tournament. I'm not saying that at all. I want the Z Fighters, or rather a lot of them, to be knocked out before we even get to where we are now in Dragon Ball Super. I'm completely complicit with that. I'm just saying that a lot of the ways that the Z Fighters were knocked out was actually pretty mundane, pretty boring, and not very satisfactory for their characters. Like Tien, he did almost nothing throughout the entire Tournament of Power until, boom, he was knocked out with some other guy that was also very unimportant. Piccolo, we're not even going to talk about Piccolo, okay? Let's just say him and a bug went wrong, okay? That's all we're going to say about it. I mean, we did have a few ones. Krillin was okay. 18 was pretty awesome for sacrificing herself for her brother. And then we had Master Roshi. Oh my gosh, one of the best scenes of the Universal Tournament of Power arc. Like, I know I'm switching up the words with Universal Tournament of Power arc. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. One of the best scenes was him getting knocked out, man. It was awesome. Him being saved, him almost died. Master Roshi almost died. Just think about that, okay? But Gohan. Gohan was one of the most anticipated characters to come back in the Universal Tournament of Power arc. One of the most anticipated characters. And in my honest opinion, he's a lot like the other characters. I mean, I feel like Android 18 did more than he did. But in his scenes where he did do something, he shined. He shined like a rock star, boys. It was pretty awesome to see him in his scenes when he was fighting. I mean, him against the giant robots, and then when all the robots fused and they created the giant monster thing that was like Hachiak or whatever. That was pretty awesome. Gohan versus the Namekians, we got to see the reimagining of the father-son Kamehameha with adult Gohan and basically adult Goku. He was already an adult, but I guess Super Saiyan Blue Goku. It was awesome, okay? The scenes that we got Gohan in were pretty awesome. And him training for the Universal Tournament of Power arc, oh my gosh. Him going up against Kaioken Blue times 10. Ah, awesome, awesome, awesome. But him getting knocked out, I feel like it was okay, but I feel like it could have been done better. Actually, in my opinion, I hadn't even voiced this opinion anywhere online because I didn't voice it on Twitter or on YouTube, but I was actually going to make a video a while back about how I wanted the Universal Tournament of Power arc to end. I wanted it to end with Gohan fighting Frieza. I know that may not make a lot of sense, but I feel like it was set up that way for them to at least come together and fight one more time, Gohan and Frieza, I mean, when they were facing off against Frost. I feel like that was how the Tournament of Power arc was set up, and I think it would have been a nice twist and a really interesting twist, because we have Gohan and Frieza, two characters who have a lot of history together, maybe not as much history as Gohan and, not Gohan, but Frieza and Goku, but, you know, the whole sins of the father thing, I think it's an awesome twist, and it's an interesting idea that maybe they should have done. But hey, I don't want to put my opinion over what the show has actually done. I can't be like, oh, I think my idea was a lot better and they should have done this, because the way that they did it was actually really awesome, and I did enjoy it. But, I mean, I feel like Gohan didn't really do anything, you know what I mean? But that's really all I have to say about this episode. I'm sort of just rambling. By the way, they keep reusing that Golden Frieza transformation, and I don't care how many times they reuse it, as long as they play the soundtrack and use that transformation, it will always be awesome. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.